Hello? It's kinda lagging. Okay, why am I so laggy? Man, is there a way for me to like have a Windows only for chat? Wonder how I could do that. Yes, yes, though, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Just let me hold up for a bit. Cause my computer is kinda lagging. I'm gonna go to stream manager. Oh man, there's like no way for me to like have chat only. Oh, okay, there we go. Now I can just minimize this. But actually, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm kind of don't know what to do here. Since this is like my first time using the. Well, actually, this isn't the first time I've used this tablet. By the way, Hyon, is that how you pronounce it? Hyon gave me a tablet. It's a display tablet. I think it's the Canvas 13. Hold up, let me just share this on Instagram or something. And put down my mic because I cannot see what I am drawing. Nice upgrade. Yeah, by the way, they gave this to me for free to review also. But I don't think I consider this sponsored. It's pretty much like a gift. More like a gift. Anyways, hold up. I'm just gonna share on Instagram that we are live now. Before we start. Oh, and yeah, by the way, this illustration is basically my OC. Her name is Top, by the way. And I really want to change her design because her design, the one that I made, I wasn't quite satisfied with that one. So I have to kind of like change it up a bit. But first impression of like drawing on a screen tablet is so weird. Excuse me. Like, I needed to like adjust myself when like drawing with no screen on a tablet that doesn't have a screen. Took me a bit of a time to get used to it. And now that I have a screen tablet, I need to like adjust myself to like get used to it. So it threw me off a bit on like the flow of the process. I hope you guys can hear me. My mic is definitely on the way, so I really could not. I really need a desk, I think, for this. Otherwise, I do like the pen pressure though. Like, it's not too demanding. I could be really light and all that stuff. Like I don't have to like press too hard to draw. And it's really weird, like seeing my hand again. Seeing my hand again to draw. I low-key do not like the nib though. The nib is quite short. I much prefer pens with longer tip. So in that way, I mean, I don't see the pen when I'm using my other tablet, which doesn't have a screen. But this one has a screen, so the tip is just too short for me. I want to see like where my tip is like landing. Olgum, hello, welcome. I like your artwork on Instagram. Thank you. Did your laptop ever begin to stop connecting to the tablet? Not really. And if it did stop connecting, like it disconnect or something like that, it's probably because of my USB hub. My USB hub is janky or kind of wonky. But I am using a USB Type C. I guess port or hub. It's basically kind of like a dongle. So that's why. But so far I have not experienced those stuff. I've only used it for a short period of time. As you can see, I only like used it for making the sketch. And I'm just continuing it right now. I was a tad bit worried that it needs me to delete my old software, like my old driver for my old tablet. But it seems to be working fine. My hand is much more jittery than ever. I think this is one of the qualms. And setting this up, I really have no idea how to, prop this up or position this. But overall, my first impression was really good. Like, everything is working, everything is going smoothly. I mean, the only times that, I have problems, it's mostly because of my laptop. And my laptop is just slow. It's not too slow though. It has been happening to me, apparently. My laptop, for some reason, can't read the USB cable from my tablet. Oh. My USB is like connected to the dongle, so it hasn't happened to me yet. Or that's just, my USB-C is really a beast. Or really good. And man, dongles are like expensive. What the heck? I only needed dongles mainly because my cable management was like going fucking crazy. So I had to buy one. Oh yeah, another problem is like hotkeys. I don't use hotkeys in particular. Like I used to use them back then, but now not so much. So I really have no comments on like the hotkeys. I still use my keyboard mainly for shortcut keys. It's just much more faster, I think. More versatile. My throat is like fucking. Excuse me. My throat is kind of lumpy. I think you would need to like try to connect it to other USB slots, or that's mainly because of the cable. It's usually the cable's fault. And if it's the port that's like faulty, that's like that's one of the worst outcome that you'll probably get. But most of the time it's usually because of the wires. I remember that time my old tablet, I had to like buy a new wire for it. Mainly because it keeps disconnecting. But I also noticed that the port was also kind of loose. So it didn't disconnect. Like when I'm on the middle of something, it definitely disconnects when I'm like moving it around and stuff. Or I touch the wire or something. But overall, first impressions, really good. This isn't like the pro model though. I think they have a different model for those. But I don't really understand the features that much. Like it's not of a huge difference, I think. I think a lot of people are like worried about in most tablets. They're like the line jitters. I haven't tested that personally because my hand is shaky. It's just naturally shaky in my hands. And I'm a bit sore today also. So it's much more jittery. I tried changing to other ports and different cables. It's just my laptop hates reading something from my tablet for some reason. It didn't have this problem until 2 days ago. So it's like a port problem. Are you using a Windows laptop or computer? Because here's the thing. Windows are so fucking frustrating to use. Actually. Especially when it comes to ports. I used to have problems when it comes to ports also. Mainly because of the software. Mainly because of Windows. Like Windows is just frustrating to use. Like, oh, I have to update the drivers. Is it the drivers? Is it like my port is just broken? What is it? Like, it's just frustrating. Especially when you're like, God, even the updates are like the worst. I'm not sure what the design for her pants would look. I think I should give her harem pants. Something. Yep, it's Windows. Windows is just shit happens on Windows. Like you would have the most like best hardware ever, like your laptop is a beast, your desktop is a beast, but it's Windows. It's Windows that is shitting on it. Your specs would be nothing. Mainly because of Windows. It's butchered by Windows. I couldn't switch to other softwares, that's for sure. Like, what else do I have a choice? I don't even have a choice. Anything else but Windows, which is really frustrating. Like, one day my other USB-C port would just break or stop working. Like, why? Windows, why? And I have to go multiple, like, diagnostics or troubleshooting for it. And my god, the number of resets I've done to my laptop and my device. Like, I just couldn't understand why. And usually wrong timing also. I want her to be metal plated. Something here. Something metal plated. I want her design to be more bruiser like. Instead of the other one or the last one that I made for her. Last time the design I made for her is kind of look like a swordsmith or swordsman with swords and stuff. But right now I've been thinking of she's more like a berserker or something. Oh, I think one of my qualms, I guess, or something to take note of. If you hate smooth textures, drawing on smooth textures, you're gonna hate this one. It's kind of smooth, but I don't really mind those stuff. But if you're like, if you don't prefer that, I really would not recommend you for this. But if it's something that you don't mind drawing on, then I would recommend this. Especially if you're like starting out and you have the budget for it. So, and it's like a perfect size. It's a good enough size. Others others would probably prefer much bigger ones, but I really do not like big bulky stuff. We're handling those type sort of thing. It just bulks up and consume too much space to my table, so that's why I don't prefer it. But this one is good. It's kind of like the same size of my tablet, actually, of my old one. The only difference is the surface or the screen state, like the surface of where I can draw. I think that's the only difference. I want her hand something like this. And I think this is considered a budget option, if I'm not sure. It's one of those considered like alternatives, budget friendly alternatives for a screen tablet. Because those types are much more likely to be expensive, so especially Wacom ones. And Wacom stuff is really scarce here on my location. Like, I could not find a single store that likes sell those kind of stuff. Kind of want this to be a claw, like a glove or something. I know I should have like made a character sheet for her instead, but kind of wanna draw her full body only instead. Probably do that in the future. Got our dogs there like going crazy. And man, I'm worried I might press something accidentally here. Because my forearm, is like kind of resting on its like uh hotkeys. Because it has buttons on the side. And I'm a bit worried that I might touch the power button. The power button is strangely sensitive for some reason. Like my hand could just brush on it and uh just might shut down. The dog's chasing the cat now? No. They don't actually do that. They don't chase cats, unfortunately. They're a different type of dog. I thought that was the norm when it comes to dogs. Unfortunately, it wasn't. The dogs try to play with them, but the cats does not give a fucking damn about them. These lines are too straight. Oh, and yeah, I'll probably use this illustration for like a draw this in your style challenge. Because it has been a while. Okay, my undos are quite strange. We hit 69k, baby. We should like celebrate the nicest number. Regarding shading, how do you practice shading the human skin? I can shade monogrammic objects, but not skin. Skin? Mm, oh, non-organic object. Well, the way I just shade my skin, like, here are my base colors, right? It's around here, like red and yellows, and orange also. And depending on like what section you're in for the base colors, like the more saturated it is, and like the more darker it is, I just basically shift to a much more darker color. Like for example, I'm here at yellow, and if I'm gonna add in shadows, I just shift and go to orange and then lower the like maybe the brightness and make sure the saturation is like a bit higher, I guess. And then that's it. For highlights, same things goes, but in the opposite direction, in a much more brighter direction. Because yellow is like the brightest color here. So you use yellow for like highlights and stuff like that. What is this draw this in your style challenge? It's basically like an art challenge. It's quite common in the art community. I basically have this illustration. So what you'll do, or those who will participate in it, will basically copy or base around this illustration and use it as reference to draw it, or kind of like translating it to their style. It's basically kind of like a redraw, but you can like spice it up, like change the pose or add in more of the stuff that you usually do, and it's all up to you, basically depending on whatever style you have, art style. I think next thing to do is fix this hair. His hair is so sketchy. I think some of those type of challenge are also like contests. Like you can win prizes and stuff. Should I put like earrings to her? I wonder. Like only like an ear stud or something. Sorry, I didn't know about I'm a newbie in the art community. Nah, you're good. I used to didn't know about a lot of stuff going on in the community anyways. It's either I know about something mainly because of drama, or just something casual, or you know most people are doing. I remember that time everyone is like participating in like for example, now it's May, so there's mermaid, and if it's October, people are like doing Inktober and all that stuff. It's basically trends. It's basically trends. But I really don't do those like challenges anymore. Yeah, I'm having a hard time like seeing the fucking drawing because my microphone is like on the way. I couldn't see what I'm drawing. We don't speak of the SU Tumblr art community. We don't speak of those. Yeah, it's just a toxic cesspool. It's one of those art communities that where you're not kind of allowed to do whatever you want. Should I dig in the line art? This is pretty much done to me, honestly. Oh, this is pinch. Adjust line width. Just zoom in there. Now, why are our dogs are barking? Oh, and we also do not speak of the Genshin Impact art community. I still don't know why people like that game. I mean, most of like my friends that I know of that plays Genshin, I don't think they even like the gameplay. They just like the characters, and that's basically it. They only play mainly because they can only attain those characters through like the gacha system, right? I just do not like games that has, you know, that forces me to go to a fucking slot machine. Like, if I've grinded for something, I should be fucking rewarded. Like, I just do not like those type of systems. I think I should make this sticker so it could pop up. Might be because of the Genshin Impact, their character designs. I mean, some of them I like the character design. It's more not really the character design. Like, for some reason, all of them looks the same to me. Mainly because it's the body type. Of course, they don't look the same. They're like, their clothing design aren't the same. But when it comes to their bodies, they're like the fucking same. They all have the same mold. But yeah, most of my friends only played it mainly because of the characters. Mainly because of the characters. And I heard that Genshin Impact is so free to play that you can get the characters without paying a lot of money. Doubt. I doubt that. It is a free game, but it's one of those I'm just like, yeah, I would just pay money to like get what I want. But nope. It forces you to take this like, forces you to gamble. And the graphics really remind me of Breath of the Wild. Like, if I'm gonna play something that it does reminds me of Breath of the Wild, then I would just play Breath of the Wild instead. If we're like talking about the gameplay instead of the character designs. Character designs are fucking lit though on Breath of the Wild. But yeah, people like only play Genshin mainly because of like the characters and stuff. No shame though. Y'all can play whatever you want. I just don't not enjoy that shit. Nor would be part of that fandom. I think I only liked one character on Genshin. And that's Shogun. I only like Shogun. And that's basically it. I don't care about anyone else. And I don't have any console like that will handle Genshin Impact. Because Genshin Impact is so fucking power hungry. Like that shit just fucking eats your graphic card. And it takes up a lot of space. I couldn't download that shit. Hell no. I'm gonna spend my entire day just downloading the shit instead of playing it. What's funny is that the studio Genshin Impact is using the money they get from Genshin Impact to make a very fluid animated 3D anime girl. They made a YouTube channel around her and her progress. They put in the money on other stuff. Oop, I'm lagging. It's my autosave kicking in. Oh man, it feels so weird seeing my hand again. Seeing my hand again and all that stuff. Okay, she's looking done now. I think we'll be spending most of our time in coloring. I also got the effects done already. Well, not exactly completely done. Some of it are still kind of missing. I think there's still some stuff I want to cover. I think they're trying to create the ultimate VTuber. Most probably. But I think Miko already like been there done that. Did I get their name right? Code Miko. Couldn't remember. And the fact that Code Miko is independent, I think, is fucking wild. I'm just gonna add some more bits and webbings here on the effects because she's looking too uniform for me. And I'm actually not sure how to like establish the flow here. Oh no, not Miko. uh You'll probably notice my line art is kind of janky as hell. And that's okay. I really do not care about my line art. I kind of like it this way. Being all so sketchy and kind of dirty. That will only remind me of that one Japanese guy that married the AI of Miku. Oh, the tragedy. I think they're getting a divorce. If I if I read the news right. It has been a while since I've watched like VTubers and shit. Did am I just like stopped watching them or the hype is just gone? Because I couldn't remember why I stopped watching them. Wonder what are these my shadows? Oh, okay, this is my shadows. So the darker tones. They didn't get a divorce. It's a bit more sad and tragic. The company that made Miko AI stopped all support for him, And now she won't appear in his AI box thing. Rest in peace, bro. It sounds bizarre and shit, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because it's Japan, and the shit that goes down in Japan is like wild. A lot of people tends to be lonely, or most of the stories I've heard there always has like always has a theme when revolving around loneliness. And I'm not surprised. It's kind of common here. Okay. I think I should color her first. Color. I'm not gonna stick to her, like, her old colors. I'll probably start a new one. That guy needs help since he does get bullied a lot and can find connections with other humans. Oh yeah, bullying also is like uh, a huge thing in Japan. Like the way they bully is just holy crap. Even at South Korea, like bullying is so fucking cruel. Doshi, welcome. Welcome to the stream, bro. Wait, I'm just finding my slippers. Anyways. Her shirt is blue. I'm gonna stick with it. With her blue theme. On his wedding, he invited all of his family to attend and friends, but none of them arrived, and only 4 internet friends came over. Ooh. Yeah, family stuff isn't always like a huge thing there, also. It's bizarre seeing him marry a plushie doll of Miku instead of the AI box. He basically marries, like... Basically that embodies Miku. Anything that embodies Miku, basically. From how I understand it. I didn't watch the full video of it, I only heard like stories of it. And yeah. And mental health thing isn't like a fucking... Like, they just don't give a shit. They don't give a shit to the actual issue here. Than us. He's probably much more berated now. Because of what he's done. Berated and mocked. Is this the correct red? I wonder. I do have to like acknowledge the screen though. Like my laptop screen is like not color accurate at all. So I smell something burning. What the hell? Is that outside? Oh, never mind. But yeah, the color here is much more better than my laptop. Colors are better. I'm not sure if it's super accurate, but I do notice that it's much more better. It's just my laptop tends to like tends to look more desaturated, unsaturated. It's a bit brighter actually. I think I want this one to be red. Let me just add like some rip and tears here. Hey, I'm curious as to how you actually learned English because I personally learned English by playing video games in my childhood. I just watched a bunch of cartoons, basically. I grew up watching cartoons and learned English just by, watching cartoons. And when I'm young, I tend to like talk to myself. It sounds weird, but that's what I do when I'm like playing with dolls or with my toys. I tend to like, monologue what my toys are saying. And I think that's how I improved or how I get to learn English. And mainly just because I find it easier to talk in English instead of my mother tongue. Because when you're like talking in English, you can smoothly glide on it. Like, I could just murmur and stuff and like, what do you call that? And mumble. Like it rolls easier to the tongue. But when I'm like talking to my native language is basically puts emphasis on fucking every connotations there is. Oh god, where is my mouse? There we go. Oh, and if there's like a specific cartoon that's like really good for learning English, probably Phineas and Ferb. Actually, Phineas and Ferb is more like good for like expanding your vocabulary. But when it comes to learning, like the basics of it, generally just most of the cartoons I've watched. Not sure about video games. I did play video games when I was a kid also, a lot. But not sure if I learned English because of that. Because I usually don't understand or don't pay attention to like the monologues that's going on to video games. Phineas and Ferb is the only reason why I know the Aglet is. True. And and mainly because of the reason like we still remember it. The song is so catchy and all that shit to the point that we basically know it and we die knowing it. And we still remember it to this day. It's so good. Phineas and Ferb is just one of those like cartoons that is so good no matter what time. I'm gonna keep her hair pink because I like pink. I used to hate pink as a color, but now I just like it. I love it. Although I don't use it all the time, I'm still having like difficulty when using reds for some reason. It's mainly because of my screen again. Again, my screen is not color accurate. It's one of those colors I've had no idea what to combine with. Because all I know, one of the few colors that are like probably would only blend in perfectly with pink are like purples and stuff. Usually pastel colors. I need some colors for the metal. Cause this is like armor pieces and all that stuff. But Loki recently, I think I don't talk about this a lot on my social media and stuff. But recently I've been feeling Loki not enjoying drawing that much anymore. Drawing to me is so fucking weird. Sometimes I enjoyed it tremendously, sometimes I just do not. Or to the point that I dislike it. Because most of the time, my feeling is like, oh, okay. You know, I just have no intense emotional stuff like that. But recently, it's going from, I hate this, why am I doing this? But obviously, I'm not gonna stop. Because last time I stopped, went, kind of went to such a panic. I'm not gonna use like a bluish color here to her glove. I kind of want it to be more like a bone, kind of look like a bone. I'm not sure if you can see the difference, but it's kind of there. Because this is a much more warmer color compared to like metal pieces where it's much more cooler toned, and that's mainly because it's metal. And cooler tones tend to look better when it comes to metallic stuff. But this one is like a bone, so the colors would much more look like a tad bit warmer. Ooh, I kind of want to add scars on her. But let's add in our like fleshy colors. I'm gonna go with the reds or something like pink. Is this too pink? I'm not sure. Should I just make it much more pale? I should have used my Bluetooth keyboard instead. Because I'm having a hard time reaching to this keyboard. My, have you heard that all the memes saved Morbius from becoming a box office failure? Yeah, they keep joking about. That's so funny though. But hey, people have a hard time detecting sarcasm, so I mean even myself, I have a hard time detecting like sarcasm at the internet. And that's mainly because it's text. But if I hear the tone, I would definitely know it's sarcasm. And sarcasm doesn't always translate very well to other languages, so I'm not. People probably took it serious that Morbius is like the best film ever. I mean, it's probably fucking the most mid film you probably ever see, especially if you watch like a ton of Marvel stuff. Honestly, it just shows how powerful the internet and memes are. I mean, come on, have you seen Sonic? The internet deadass bullied the shit out of that. They bullied the shit out of the studio. It was so funny. And at the same time, I was conflicted. I mean, is this still ethical? Like, you're deadass bashing. I mean, they're not bashing the animators. They're much more like the reason why the ugly Sonic exists in the first place. It it's probably because of the producers and executives. And executives and producers are like, you know, uh, one of the most reasons why animated films are like getting capped on. It's never the fucking animators' fault, honestly. It's always the executives. All those jokes and memes are too funny. It's too funny and stupid, especially that Milo dancing. All of the shit that I've seen is always about morbing. It's Among Us all over again, but in a different tone. It's just Jared Leto, and I think someone like shared something that over over the last few years that's been going on. It's always ending. It's always a word that is ending like U or an S, like humongous, chungus, among us. It's always a U and S. But hey, I guess in the end they won. They won the box office shit. They still got the money. What's funny is that one of the actors of Morbius actually believed one of the memes jokes where there's fake quote that Martin's Scorsese called Morbius the cinema of the century. Oh my god. I can't tell if that's embarrassing or just a victim of misinformation or a victim of sarcasm. See, sarcasm doesn't go well with the internet. There's still people that cannot detect that shit. Especially here in the Philippines. They do not they do not understand sarcasm. There are people that understand sarcasm, but at the same time they use it not very well. God, it's like living like not even the 21st century. It's like living in the 18th century here. Like, people would still believe witchcraft. Dead ass. How the heck did they do that? Bro, it's the power of the internet. Everyone can do that. Everyone has the power. I feel uncomfortable with their with the eyes here. I think I need to edit that. Kind of looks too close to the nose bridge, so let me just do some adjusting here. Gonna need my lasso. It just feels too close to the nose bridge. Now that looks too far. Oh, weird. It's the right color. There we go. Need something red here. Oh, this is too orange. I just love how everyone says it's morphing time whenever it never said once in the movie. Yeah. They just throw that crap around. And it's like the main theme. Oh god, there's like bots here. What the fuck? Man, the bots on like YouTube is fucking wild. Because I've been like watching like the Johnny Depp trial, and the fucking amount of bots that I've seen on the comment section is, my god. But at the same time, I shouldn't be surprised, honestly. Even on Instagram, the bots are like fucking everywhere. It's like unavoidable. And the fact that you can get famous mainly because of bots is so crazy. Who was that? Travis Scott? I think it was Travis Scott. Who man, it became a huge hit mainly because of he bought bots, I think. The YouTube bots is getting too powerful. They even spread to small channels. Yeah. Especially in Instagram, my god. Bots on social media platforms are getting so annoying, especially on art accounts on Instagram. Yeah, they always say this, like, the same shit. Like, promote this on on their fucking page. I hate it. I think I should set this to multiply. Yeah, his level bought him bots in the beginning of this career. Yeah. And that shit is so fucking wild to me. Oh, wrong tool. Actually, want the selection tool. And honestly, that's just, you know, power of money. You can just pay to win. Life always been a pay to win. I'm gonna invert this and then use my brush. Where is my color history? No, that's too orange. We don't speak about the Travis Scott concert. Oh my god. The incident. That looks terrible. Just trying some things out. Oh, it's probably because of this. Let me just deselect this. Let me select some shit. Invert that. Use banker and brush. I mean, I'm gonna delete this, erase this anyways, but I won't appear that evident here. Yeah, it doesn't even look. Color history? How did I not find that? That's on the Windows, I think. Besides you streaming, do you actually watch any other Twitch streamers? I only watch clips of them on YouTube. Because here's the thing, it's I find YouTube much more accessible and stuff. And I don't even watch that long. Nor could I participate. Like, my fucking ass cannot pay attention that much. Oh, I'm still in. I think the ones that I've watched back then are like Sean sketches and then TV Choi. But that's basically it. Okay, let's now have some shadows. I'm gonna turn that off again. I think I should lean more to purple for skin. And I don't even watch any art related stuff recently. I'm just sick and tired. Sick and tired of it. Like I'm already in like how do you call this? In a comfortable like phase when it comes to art. Or just basically I'm not that interested at the moment. I used to watch a lot, but right now, just not my thing. That's all. Just not my thing for now. But it does help to, get you motivated and stuff. Like, if you want to get into a vibe, right? So you could get to draw. I do watch those type of stuff. Like for example, I watch someone sketching and all that. Anything that has ASMR in it. Anything that has the sound of like the pencil scraping the paper. That would get me, like get in the mood to draw. But no, not my thing, unfortunately. See, this is why I don't consider like art my passion. It's just weird. Because it's something that I'm not always, 100% about it. So I guess people's like definition of passion is like, and that's how they go to them. But to me, it's kind of different. Okay, this is too bright. Want something dark. I would darken this. I think I watched some VTubers in the past also. That streams on Twitch. That mainly streams on Twitch. But again, it's all clips. All clips that I found about them. Because I just cannot pay attention for like that much hours. Like God, I'm so always distracted for some reason. Like I just cannot handle watching one video for the whole length of it. Like I just can't for some reason. My attention span is like no. My hand is kind of feeling numb now. I should really fix my posture and my position right now. My position is not very good. Like, my hand is so fucking far away on my keyboard. But at the same time, I couldn't do anything else because this is what I'm used to. I'm gonna separate the highlights though. Separate the highlights here. But when it comes to motivation, I don't think that drawing is something that I need to find a motivation in order to draw. It's not really like that happens to me. It's more of me being comfortable now. My motivation to draw feels arbitrary, so it's hard for me to get consistent, and it really only depends on my mood. Yeah, that's basically what I feel right now. But at the same time, my anxiety isn't too much, I guess. I don't think anxiety is the word for it. Because if you're like a beginner, you would need to like have a consistent practice. But that's more about your schedule. And being and learning stuff is really like not that motivating to some people. Like for some reason. I mean, I get it. I understand it. Because sometimes it just do be like that. Your back position is probably not as bad as mine. My laptop's still connected halfway doing that. Oh shit! That's like the worst thing that could happen. Disconnecting while sketching, that's fine. That's fine. Disconnecting while line art? Oh god. Should I set this to multiply? I wonder. Wonder to have scars. Wonder if I should make it look faded. There we go. Her nose is throwing me a bit off. There we go. But yeah, watching others draw kind of help. It kind of does help, you know, to get yourself, oh, I want to do that also. That sort of thing. Because that's what I do sometimes. Like, if I'm not motivated, like, if I feel like I don't have any motivation to do or draw, I would just look up some videos that's basically an artist drawing or painting something. And that just gets me to, you know, get me to draw, get me back, and stuff. Do you think live streaming has made it easier to connect with your audience than your other socials like Twitter and Instagram? Yeah, definitely. I get to chat with you guys. And I think that's better compared to... Because I'm not active on Instagram and Twitter. I'm actually not that active. I don't consider myself to be that active when it comes to social media. Because what I do is like... Oh, I go into Instagram, right? And I mainly just do that to post something or share something. I never really use it to interact with anybody. Which is kind of unfortunate. I should be socializing out there or something. And I just don't use Instagram as a social platform. Like, it's not my main platform to like meet new people and stuff. That's why I was like thinking of creating another account, mainly for me to like fuck around or something, and actually share, or actually be a social media like platform for me to use. But then again, it's just me. I'm just really not that active on social media. Honestly, if I was much quicker in drawing something, I'd be much more motivated to draw. I don't think... This is probably my take, so take it with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. But I remember the time back then. I'm like, really don't like drawing something for a long time. Fuck that. Even right now, I'm just like, but right now I'm just like trying to, you know, condition myself that, hey, this is okay. You can draw one illustration for 16 hours. It's okay. You don't have to speedrun everything. But back in those days, I was like, no, I want to draw quickly and all that. And so I did practice. Because I was also like participating in competitions, and that competition, it isn't what I usually draw. It's more cartooning and stuff like that. But yeah, that competition basically needs us to draw something in under 1 hour or 1 hour. So I got used to drawing much more quicker because I've learned to skip some steps when it comes to drawing. You know those steps like, oh, you draw like the construction first, like this for the head. You draw the guides first for the eyes and the face, and where would the ear position and all that stuff. I've learned to skip that and learned and basically condition myself to like go straight ahead with the line art. So I've learned how to do that, but I also kind of want to. Did it motivate me? Not exactly. Again, I feel more indifferent, I guess. I just don't care about that much. And I only mainly do that so I can like, because I'm much more of a person that enjoys seeing the results already instead of the bullshit that, oh, enjoy the journey, not the destination. No, I want the destination right now. But yeah, after learning how to draw fast, I kind of want to like make myself draw, you know, for a lot of hours right now. Because I've noticed that the more or the less time I consume when drawing doesn't feel all that impressive to me anymore. It's all on me. It's all about my opinion. But that's how I view it. So what I'm doing right now or recently is mainly due to endurance. Like I want to draw much more in longer hours without losing motivation. Unlike back then where I tried to condition myself to skip some steps. I mean, it did benefit me a lot, but at the same time, it was such a grueling process. I would not recommend it. But yeah. And also because I only got motivated to draw something if I saw something cool. Like, for example, I saw a character that looks cool. I would be like, oh, I want to draw something like that. And that's basically it. That's where all my motivation, like, is resource or sourced from. It's all about seeing others work. Rate this hour. Welcome. Oh, you're doing great. Give it up. Thank you. And honestly, I think that's one thing to get rid of when practicing in art. Like you have to be like you have to find ways not to be so dependent on motivation that much. The reason why I'm not so dependent when it comes to motivation anymore is basically I do it a lot. I do it a lot back in high school, so that didn't require motivation. It's just really something that I've done, mainly because I'm bored. Especially if the teacher's boring. I would much rather draw something than listen to something that's like boring and something I do not want to listen to. So yeah, I guess my you know, my perspective just changed. Back then, I used to find it impressive that someone is like can draw really fast, but right now I'm much more impressed to like the people that can draw one illustration in like a week, in 2 days, and a lot of hours. Like I find that more impressive, because I can't stick to one illustration for that long. If I'm drawing to like one drawing, it had to be like finished or something, or else I would be like, I'll be moving on to another. I'm almost hitting and you're doing this damn project. Don't worry, man. That's just how it goes. 1 year is pretty tame to a project, trust me. Oh, and I read, not actually read, but I watched a documentary about like, I think they're Russians or they're Polish. I think I'm not sure. I couldn't remember, but they're basically animators, and they're still animating to this day for one film because all they've done are like animated shorts, and the way they animate is fucking insane because they're using traditional medium, but at the same time they're using puppets. Like it's so crazy. I wonder if I can share the link or something. I'll probably search it up later. But it was so insane. Like the way they animate is god. It's like a nightmare of a process. But at the same time, its look is so cool to see. So yeah, they still are doing this one film. They're still not finished till today, and they're already super old. Not super old, they're just old. And I think I read comments that they might die first before finishing the film. I think there are only 2 of them that are working there. And there's like, I mean, there are being offered with help, but at the same time, they don't accept being helped for some reason. I think it's 40 years already since they've been in production. They still haven't finished it. And honestly, it's quite common to see like unfinished projects and all that stuff. It's quite common. Like I think there's a film that's like released, but at the same time it's not finished. I think you could see the sketches there in that film. And the fact that I think the most, like one of the things that I feared when working on a long-term project is not seeing the success of it. I think that's one of the most heartbreaking stuff that you will probably witness after working on something. I mean, that's pretty common, but this is how it goes. Oh, I should, God, should separate this layer. Why is it on the other screen? I'm gonna put this on the highlights. Okay, the folder. Just so I can organize. Okay, now where's my highlights? I think one of my the reasons why I don't use a screen tablet is like the parallax and the screen calibration and all that stuff. But so far it doesn't require me to like do those stuff. Thank God. I'll probably still go back to my old setup because I just enjoy. I would just much prefer that. That doesn't have a screen. A tablet that doesn't have a display. I have no idea why. It's probably the texture. I also like that that has a texture. This one doesn't, unfortunately. Is how I can observe from what I've observed. I'm low-key getting a little sleepy. Holy shit. I'm literally falling asleep because of this process. This looks good enough, I guess. Go back to the highlights now. That's not yellow. Oh, and one of the things I've learned as an artist is probably don't be too harsh on yourself. Definitely. Yes, being too harsh on yourself is super unnecessary. Deadass. That's like gaslighting yourself, so definitely do not recommend that. And it's just much more healthy that way. I think I did too much shadows here in the arms. I guess I've been gaslighting myself. Do not gaslight yourselves. Do not gatekeep. Do not gaslight. Don't girl boss your shit. The only times I tend to be harsh to myself is like probably if I'm not seeing. Actually, nah, I don't remember. I tend to be not too harsh on myself that much when it comes to art. Because come on. This is supposed to be a place of like me enjoying. It started as something I enjoy. It should be that way. Probably when I was animating or learning animation. I guess that's probably one of the days I probably gaslit myself. This is too not visible. Oh my god. Okay. I think all I need to do right now is apply this. I'm gonna use an airbrush to like render this out. Low-key lagging. Why am I lagging? God, my computer is so slow. It's probably because of the heat. Like, the weather is weird again. Dead ass. A while ago, it looks kind of cloudy. It looks like it's about to be a storm. But right now, it's just fucking hot. Why is it always like this? Okay, color history. Oh, wrong layer. Okay, that's 2 bots. What the hell? How do I block this shit? I'd like to order 1 follower, please. Oh shit, what the fuck did I press? And like the one fucked up thing about this bots, I don't think the company or Twitch, Instagram, or whatever platform there is, I don't think they will do anything to bots because they're really not losing anything to them, and instead they gain something from it. Or I don't know. Probably I sound like I'm conspiring or some shit. I low-key want to render her clothes. Low-key. I might try Supple one. Who knows? Let me try. Let me try, please. I do wanna try painting sometimes. But at the same time, it's so time consuming. That's one of the things, like, why I don't do it. Because it really needs a lot of steps. I'm lazy too. Yeah, I'm just so fucking lazy. Like, the patience of those who like paints, you're basically God. The patience you need to paint, holy shit. What do you guys think? Okay, let me try rendering her underline. Would I do this in the regular? Probably not. Probably not. It's too demanding. I have been getting lazy too lately. It's just not that uh it's worth it. Like, is it even worth it to go through all of that? Especially if you don't know what you're doing. Like, if you're not used to painting and stuff, and you're just starting to like try it out, you're definitely gonna be more vulnerable to mistakes. And witnessing mistakes is never a fun thing. Oh my god, I've been in the wrong layer. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna do all over that again. Jesus. Because a lot of times when it comes to painting and rendering, there's a lot of back and forth going on. Like, oh, I'm gonna need a highlight for this. Oh, I'm gonna need another like color for this to have more, or to make the colors richer and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot of back and forth. Oh, I need to color pick this. Oh, I need to do this. Need to do that. And it just drives me insane. This Loki looks muddy. Hold up. That Loki looks good, I think. Should I try that out to the skin also? Nah. That's gonna be too crowded. Nah, let's not do that. No. But I'm basically just rendering right now. Nothing too fancy. What color though? What color do I pick? For the multiply. My back is definitely hurting with this. Oh god. Definitely not ergonomic though. Wait, is this not color touch? What the fuck is this color? Why does it look like that? Oh, it's color dodge. Needed glow dodge. You know what? Let's not yellow that shit. Goku Johnson, welcome. Gore art. Thank you. We're not finished though. Definitely not. Still need to like do this effects. Jesus. Holy shit. Okay, how do we do this? Is this my base? Think so. Royal Set Go, hello, welcome. Welcome. Let me just save this up first. So, do you finish your drawing once a day? Back then, yes. But now, no. I try not to. What I do for now is like, I sketch a lot of poses. And then if I want to finish something, I'll pick from that sketch. But I do make sure I finish it within the day. Or finish like the flat colors or like the line art of it in one day. It really depends. Depends on my mood. Let's clip this. And then make sure the whole thing is covered. There's a lot of reds. I think I should make this orange. I think I should make it orange. Let me try. Or maybe yellow. I say I'm new to art and being a content creator and trying to post consistently, especially on TikTok. It's rough. It's rough as an artist, especially animation. Yeah, especially as animator. Well, just muted myself for a bit. My mom was here, so. Anyway, what are you guys have been talking to? Guess I'm just gonna pushing a ton for the algorithm, but I'll just end up burning myself out. Okay. I think you guys are talking about social media, right? So here's my experience. I kind of want to share this because a lot of you guys are probably curious too. Like, how do you grow your social media? Yada yada yada. So back then, when I started digital art, of course I'm drawing every day, but I wasn't finishing like uh, illustrations that much. Actually, I do. There are times I don't finish something, but there are days that I do. And if there's like like for example, one day I was like, oh, I'm really feeling it. Like I want to draw more. I don't tend to like finish one illustration a day. I tend to finish 2 or 3 back then. And it's basically to get myself ahead. Because back then my schedule was like posting every day. Would I recommend that though? No. Definitely not. But back then it worked for me mainly because I managed to get myself ahead. And yeah, that's kind of true also that the algorithm kind of forces you to like keep posting a lot and much more often. But I don't recommend that. But what I do recommend is give yourself a schedule. Like post every like after 2 days or 1 day. But I don't recommend like drawing every day. That's so sickening. Even for me. Yeah, so I tried doing that and I had to work a job also, so I was getting burned out. Oh yeah, that too. Like if you have other shenanigans dealing with, I do not recommend that. Like give yourself like a schedule or something. That would that is much more preferred. Like for example, you can only draw on the weekends. But at the same time, I was like trying to make sure I get ahead. Like, as I mentioned earlier, I try to make a lot of poses, but they're barely like, they're really rough sketches. So, in that way, I don't have to think about what to illustrate because that also takes up time. I try to be efficient, I guess. That's how I would say it. But I do not recommend for you to draw every day. That's just so. Even myself, that was like a phase of mine that I did not enjoy. But also at the same time, don't get the numbers to get through your head, because a lot of beginners tend to like have so much qualms about it. Like, I'm not getting any likes. I'm not getting that much engagement. Yada yada yada. I'm like, is that really your intent to gain out of this? Because if that's what you're intending to do, then don't do art. Do something else. Is that even called art? What you're doing is literally making a consumable or entertainment of a media. not really art. Art is not a consumption or entertainment. Or an entertainment for you is something to consume. I did made it my daily routine since last year on drawing a sketch or illustration at least once per day. Is that a great idea? If it's something that's not straining you, that's fine. Just make sure it doesn't strain you. I gotta work on being more organized. Yeah, it's basically me planning ahead. Is what I've done back then when I was like starting to grow on social media. But also be like, you know, try to chill out and hang out with your followers. Actually had no idea what to color this. Okay, my computer is so fucking laggy. I'm like getting pissed off. Okay, there we go. Oh my god. Anyways, where was I? I got so distracted. So basically, don't get the numbers through your head. Ever. Because try to know what you're actually here for. Like, is that really just what you want? Like, you just want the followers and all that stuff? Is that really your sensible way to measure your skills? Because it's not, obviously. Even like professionals and all of that would agree that social media numbers and all that stuff doesn't define how good you are in art. And if you think of it that way, then you're just simply wrong. Because that is numbers are not the basis of how good you are, obviously. Everyone would agree to that. Because even professionals doesn't have like the most followers, the most stuff that you would see on social media. They mainly share their work for the sake of sharing it and for the people to check it out. That's basically it. It's not about it's not about that. It's not about numbers. And if you think it's all about the numbers, then I'm sorry, that's very shallow. What you're if like if you all want the numbers, then do something business stuff. That's not art. Numbers not all about it. Actually not sure what the color here. Sheesh. I'm here to watch it. That's a good point. Yeah. Because if you see, if you observe like those artists with like, I guess, are much more mainstream, or how do I say this, has more numbers, I guess, has more followers, has more likes. What they basically do is either really trendy stuff or really not their own thing. It's usually based on like what their followers want or what their followers need. Like, is that what you really want? You want to be a slave to the audience. And to my perspective, that's not what I want. I just do this because I want to. Mainly. I do this because this is what I enjoy. This is what I want to share and for people to check out. That's mainly it. Okay, I'm probably struggling here. And when I was like starting out also, I was like being also participative with the art community. Like try to meet new people and all that stuff. Try to do challenges to get yourself out there. Like it's kind of like showing off. Somewhat in a way. Like put yourself out there. Basically. It's a bit that I do want to get a big audience, just so that can read my stories. I don't really care about the money, but I just want people to read my stories. Then it's not the numbers that you're actually going for. You just want people to like, appreciate your stuff, which is kind of different from wanting numbers. Like, I do understand that. Like, we all crave for, like, people to appreciate our stuff, right? Like, that's what it's all about. But at the same time, I try to convince others also that is that what you really want? Like, is this not about you? Like, how do I say this? Like, isn't this more about just you enjoying your stuff? Enjoy doing this. Because that's how I perceive it. I mainly just do this mainly because I do it often. And I just happen to share it. Have you done your Discord yet? Not yet, unfortunately. Been busy. I'll probably do it or create one once I've like finally learned how Discord works. But yeah. Like we do tend to crave people like to find people to appreciate our works. And that's not a bad thing, that's a natural thing, to be honest. That's just how it goes. Yeah, have you looked for people to make your Discord? Not yet, unfortunately. I've been too preoccupied with like the project I'm doing currently, unfortunately. I'll probably invite some of my friends, but at the same time I'm too embarrassed. I'm too embarrassed to ask for help. Because I'm so used to like doing stuff on my own. This has changed my perspective. Thank you so much. Yeah. Because here's the thing, I've also like I follow like animators and all that stuff. And obviously I do see that they don't get, the most likes and the most followers Mainly because they don't post that often. And in all honesty, I don't think they're craving for the numbers. They know they're quite well known to the community anyways, so it's all about finding the right community for you. Instead of, yeah, you gain big numbers, but are those numbers really appreciating you? Like you. And instead of, the artworks that you made. Oh, and yeah, I did also a lot of fan art back then. And making fan art is like a double edged sword. Because once you like stick to a fandom, they'll probably only know you for that reason alone. So kind of be careful on that. But yeah, I do encourage you to like make fan art, I guess. Fan arts are one of those like type of art that gets yourself out there. But if you're really not into that, then stick to yourself. Just be true to yourself, and the right people will come for you. And actually, appreciate you for what you are. Like there are artists that I know of that doesn't do trendy stuff and just stick to their niche. Like their artworks is really not that trendy, and it's really like, how do I say this? Like really unique. It's not your usual stuff, so where was I? Sorry if I suddenly stop talking sometimes. It's because I don't have my own room, so people like tend to come in and out here, so and I really don't want them to bother me, so I think these colors are too intense. It's like burning my eyes. But where was I? Sticking to your niche, I think, right? There was, I think it's on YouTube. He's on YouTube. His name is like Peter Draws, and what he does is like doodles and stuff. Really not your typical thing that you'll see within the art community. What he does is basically abstract art, but in a way, it, like even after all that, abstract art isn't all that. How do I say this? Popular, I guess. But he managed to gain a following that appreciates him and appreciates the person as he is because he stick true to himself. And he didn't need to do those like trendy stuff like everyone is doing. I mean, there's nothing wrong in doing them, but at the same time, don't be so pretentious to yourself. Come on. Don't be fake to yourself, basically. I stopped doing draw this in your styles. It's fun at first, to be honest, but it can be boring once you've done it continuously. I mean, if you're like doing it a lot of times, maybe. Like, why are you doing every challenge there is? I only like do once or twice, or just mainly because of the artists like I know or appreciate. That's why I only do it in a moderate way. I don't think you would, unless you enjoy it. Then I guess go ahead. But if you don't, bro, come on, stop forcing yourself. Just don't force yourself to do something you're not. That would damage you. I guess my niche is just drawing tomboys. Every time I post my character arts, they don't get as much attention. That too. People. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Yes. There's nothing wrong wanting attention, honestly. Like, you do you. You just do you. But hey, let's go, Drawing Tomboys gang. SGC Young, hello, welcome. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with this fire, or my plan with this fire, but let's just fuck around, honestly. That's the thing. That's how I started with Insta. Draw this in your style, this, and draw this your style, that. Then, the more know about this, I just stop. Yeah, you only need to like do it moderately, because if you do it too much, like all the time, it just gets boring. Like, the way I do it is like, there are times I do my own thing, and there are times I do, some fan art and stuff. And maybe sometimes try to practice animation once in a while. That's how I do it. I try to balance myself, like throw myself or switching into those kind of themes. I guess the only thing that I haven't done in a while is probably being experimental. That's one of the things that I haven't done anymore, which I do miss a tad bit. And of course, like social media platforms doesn't really isn't so forgiving when you are trying out new things, especially your followers. Like, if your followers don't know you very much and you just start doing like random stuff, you're probably not gonna get what you usually attain, I guess. I'm very terrible with words. Dear God. But again, this is just something I tend to not associate myself with too much. Like, it's just a waste of time to me. That's my perspective. Like, I don't want to get too wrapped up around it, because it's not mentally good and healthy to do so. I think the best way to put it is try to be neutral when approaching it into it. Like, oh, this post didn't gain that much attention. Okay, maybe just I'll do this again. And you try that one again. Oh, so okay. people are enjoying this one. Maybe perhaps I'll try to stick this one. And since I'm enjoying it also, I'll stick to it. But if you try something this one out and then you gain a lot of attention but you really don't enjoy doing it that much, then don't stick to it. Just move on and go on. Just be neutral when it comes to the numbers. It's like, oh, this didn't work out as well as I planned. Oh well. You just move on, basically. We understand the idea. Don't stay in one box. I wouldn't say don't stay in one box. It's more like you have an island and there are parts of the island that you can go to. Like, uh just like the one that I described. Like, hey, I want to draw my OCs and all that stuff, but I don't want to draw them all the time. So I should have I should draw like fan art and stuff. I don't want to draw this day, so maybe I'll go animate or something. That's how it goes, basically. So have a schedule. Don't stick to one thing, or have general spaces that you can go to. And just do not get the numbers get in your head, but instead approach them in a neutral manner. Like, oh, okay, this doesn't work and this doesn't. So what should I do? So let's try this one out. Or have a balanced view? Yeah, basically. You just don't take it in a personal manner, basically. Like, oh my god, the numbers are not doing great, I'm a piece of shit, I'm not a green artist. Yeah, that's not how it goes. Basically, just don't take it personally. And I'm using the wrong brush. Alright, good night, guys. Get this going. Yeah, I should really get that thing planned now. Because my problem also is just I'm not very active on Discord, which is one of my problems. Good night, bro. Good night. Hope you sleep well. I'm just gonna continue this. This is kind of tormenting. Although I have to say though, my grip has improved. So hopefully my hand won't be as strained as it used to. Don't grip your pens too hard. That's very not good. But yeah, I think animators would get shit. Definitely is getting shit on social media because they can't be active all the time, because animating every day is like, holy crap, that's like a death sentence. But I guess in a way, in order to like, especially on YouTube like dead ass shitting on animators. looking muddy, so I have to erase it. I see. Nothing personal, kid. Yeah, just don't take it personal and emotionally, because it's gonna drive you crazy if you do it. Grip like Levi while smashing Titans. Yeah, please don't grip your pens like that. I used to grip my pens back then really, really like hard. Like one of my fingers would just be inverted. Teleporter is crazy with animating once a day. Yeah, I think that's the reason why he blown up so good. But at the same time, he's staying within his like what he's capable of. You know, only simple designs and simple structure and all that shit. Like it's not full blown animation, as I would say. What I meant by full blown animation, it's like it has colors, it's super clean with line art or cleanups. And that's what I think that is not or impossible to do as an animator. Unless you're with a team, I guess. But even with you have a team on your side, you'll still be like, you're gonna need more time than that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do is animation. Oh god. But there was a time I was like animating like crazy. Like I animated once a day. Or have 2 animations done in a day. It was crazy though. It's not like the animations are good, it's literally dead ass me as a beginner, so. And my animations back then wasn't too complicated. It's literally frame by frame. It's not entirely impossible to do it every day, but I guess in order to make that possible, you would have to know your limits, I guess. Make sure you're not gonna get burned out. Make sure you have like a backup plan or something. Like, you know, be prepared, basically. A plan ahead. Just gonna brush this slightly. Does this look good? I have no fucking idea. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing anymore sometimes. That's too bright. What the hell? I actually want something darker instead. Or should I do this? Oh god, why am I lagging? Like, holy crap. Oh god, do you guys hear that? It's like... It's not even Christmas yet. What's going on? Oh yeah, I think this is one of the reasons why I don't paint. It's because my computer cannot handle the rendering. Your Honor, I can't. I can't paint. Sounded like holy music. Yeah, I think it's a church or something. That's how it goes here. Like, it sucks. It sucks to be an atheist here. I hope you guys know that. Like, people would just fucking bash the shit out of you if you don't, like, have the same religion as anybody else. It's very discriminatory, but it's just how it goes here. There's a lot of assholes here. The church just came to you. Call the cops, please. I just realized that OC could be a Fire Force character. Yeah, it's because it kinda did too much with the fire here. Kinda overkill. Yeah, that's like Binding of Isaac. Yeah, it's hard to be smart. I'm telling you, it's like the 16th century here. Like, people can still, like, accuse you of witchcraft. Dead ass. Oh, what a country. I'm gonna pick out some really bright ass colors here. For, like, maybe the iris of this. Oh yeah, that sounds rough. Yep. If you, like, have a different religious background, people will shit on you. I mean, it's usually by the boomers. It's always the boomers. The Gen Z kids, they're pretty much cool on whatever you are. They're pretty chill. And they tend to always have your back. This is too intense, I think. I'll probably go check after when when I exported this. And I'm using the wrong colors. I want to have some waves here. I feel like I'm overdoing this a bit. Low key. Yeah, I'm a cool kid according to ICQ. Yeah, you're basically chill. If we see like a teenager or someone who's like around our age and still has a mindset of a fucking boomer, we basically just like, ugh. Here we go again. Like, deadass. Like, there's still people here that thinks it's okay to date minors. Like, oh my god. Like, I swear to god. Like, this is some Victorian era shit. Why? Why? It's like 2022 already. People still have this shit mindset. It's really fucked up. Oh my god. Yeah, dead ass. And there's some people who would still be defensive, like, but it's like the old ways. It's like tradition. No shit, folk. Just leave it at the past. Like, my god. Do you have plans on living and living by yourself? I know it's really hard and takes a long time. Yeah, definitely. Every time. But it's a bit hard right now, right? Because the pandemic and all that stuff. I mean, it did die down a bit. Like it's a bit much more easier now to go to places, but at the same time, it's still hard to go to places. I think I would much start off to like a different town or a different city because it really depends on the city you are in. If you're in a shitty city like an underdeveloped one, yeah, you would experience this sort of shit. Because I'm right now the town I'm living in is really like a province and everything is like slow here. It's not even a city. Like dead ass. It took years to have a Jollibee here. There's no McDonald's within the vicinity of my fucking location. It is actually impossible to live by yourself. If you live in California, unless you move out of the state, the cost of living is so expensive here. Yeah, that too. Expenses. I would try probably if I rage quit or something like that. Like deadass are just like, okay, I don't wanna live with anyone, fuck you, everyone else. get the get the fuck away from my space. I mean yeah, everything is so expensive here right now. I should stop rendering this fire because there's no point. There's no point to me like, oh god, they're back. You guys hear that? They're going back and forth. They're parading, I think. Basically. Yep, I'm from Cali and I moved to Illinois with my girlfriend, but yeah, it's definitely impossible by yourself, which sucks. Yeah, this is why you make friends. And I think that's one of my, weakness because I really do not know how to rely on other people, or I hate it. I hate relying on other people, but it's the only one of the ways that you can go or get out of here. God, the way I need to reach out for my keyboard. I have to like extend my whole thing, my whole body. Where do we get Shimbler? Yep, this is pretty much done, I think. Oh, I need to brighten up. Did need some highlights over there, so. My friend actually almost got kicked out of his apartment 3 times because of the rent. It's getting higher. My god, isn't California huge? Why are you getting problems from... But, yeah. I don't think the government is doing a great work to that crisis, or they didn't even uh consider it as like a crisis, which is one of the most annoying shit. And he did kick out the Fortnite. Oh my god. That's like crazy. You basically have no guarantee to live or have a place. That's fucked up. I mean, that's basically everywhere. Like, I don't think you can dead ass own the land. You still have to like pay for it. Uh, you still have to pay for it over time. It's really fucked. Anyways, gonna save this and export. And check out if it's like, if the colors are like good. Because, God, sometimes when I export, there's a tendency the colors is not what I expected it to be. Which is annoying. So annoying. And what I hate the most. As I say, our governor is one big hypocrite that refuses to fix homelessness and thinks that making the minimum wage will fix a problem when the instead made the cost of houses higher. So let me guess. They made the minimum wage higher, but at the same time, that doesn't make a difference because people are also making the expenses higher. Oh god. I think that's inflation, right? Expenses are getting higher and higher. And I'm not sure if it was California that I was seeing. No, I think that was one news the watch. And there's like the homeless people are basically living on camps or tents. And that's really fucked. Oh, and I think that was America too, right? Where uh I I'm not sure if they arrested the guy, but this guy was basically making houses, right, for homeless people. But then he was told that he's not allowed to do that for some reason. So okay, there are kind people that wants to help, but at the same time, you don't want them to help. Like, holy shit, why? Just fucking why? That's like a dead giveaway that they just dead ass don't care, and they don't want you to care. That's fucked. I'm gonna check it on my. I'm gonna check the colors on my phone because usually, it's not the best, you know, basis for color accuracy, but that's where I go. God, the notifications. California has the highest amount of homelessness in the world, and they are thus just not caring, I guess. Let me just. Oh, I think it is California. It's where the Golden Bridge is. Oh, is this where the uh? It's near to beach, so. Oh, he wasn't arrested. He was just giving a warning that he is not allowed to make those mini houses because the houses can be moved around and some can be in the parking area. That's still not make any sense to why it's not allowed. It's also very bad in Paris. If you can work from your hometown, it's actually great. I think from what I've seen from Paris, it feels cramped. But at the same time, it's their city design is very good for walking, right? It's very good for bikes and all that stuff. Not really good for cars because it does feel cramped. At the same time, I think that's the reason. Land is just fucking expensive. That ass. And it's not gonna get cheaper. It's one of those investments that is like gonna get fucking exploited to hell. Also, San Francisco is one of the big poop city with poop everyone on the streets and drug needles on the floor. I think I've heard that one before. I think it was a poop map or something. My god. I mean, it's also applies here. If you like can get to work on your hometown, is much more preferred because going to new places here is like scary as shit. Like if you know the center or the main city here on the Philippines, you're either gonna be gonna end up as an addict, a gambler, or a stripper, or or be sex trafficked or something, or human trafficking. If you go to the main city, or if you go to work there, it's like one of the worst. But at the same time, everyone is there. Like everyone is there, going there, mainly to get jobs and shit. But at the same time, it's so densely populated. I wasn't saying that what the law enforcement did to the Midnight House guy was right. It is a big dumb situation. Yeah, honestly. They just don't want to. They just don't want them to be helped. That's unfortunate. Oh, the color is actually fine. Not what I expected though. I was expecting it to be much more red. And her pinkness is gone. It's kind of pale. What happened? What happened? Oh, it must be. It must be my screen is like much more warmer. Maybe that's why. I'm gonna adjust it. Man, this is one of the things I hate. It needs some calibration. Hello. Muted myself. I choose this stripper class. Let's fucking go. She kinda looks like She has a devil horn on her left side of her hair. Really? I couldn't see shit because uh, like my back is aching with this like how the way I'm sitting right now. I wonder if this is better. Let me just re-upload it. I'm just checking the colors right now. So yeah, this is like the boring phase again. Female Natsu, let's go! Oh yeah, Natsu also has a pink hair. Holy shit. I just realized. But let's fucking go. I think that's one of the things I like about Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail just have cool ass characters. It might be cringe, but come on. They are fun as hell. Okay, I really want this to be red. Because so far, it's not looking good on my. I'm actually just gonna adjust this instead. The glow dodge. I think I just need to make it red. That's all. God, it's so hot. Like, all of my devices are like heating up. I'm gonna change the fire to be something more red. I want this to be redder. I think this is too much. But I'm not sure. Because my screen, I'm not used to my screen. And that is why. No, Slayer female Nazi. Filter over renegade. Fire Devil Slayer female Nazi. This title is getting longer and longer. It's like how people are named here. Like deadass a lot of people here are much more likely to have like 3 or 5 names. Like holy god. I mean I have 2 names. My brothers and sisters are like brother and sister only has like 1 name. But others here much more commonly has like 3 to 5 names. Deadass. It either starts with a Maria. Okay, let me just re-upload this to check it out. Damn, it doesn't look the same. What the hell? That ass doesn't look the same.